They also Ghana phone in RTSA. Bank of Ghana accounts na omewie no. Omo fem beto abonten. They are common majority for say omo be propaganda mfa. The propaganda na mfa. The akoso ne say after 2025 na niam be a Bank of Ghana here no ma boka 15 billion Ghana cedis.
Important. Having said the cost of operating in 2025 was 15.6 billion, does not affect the bank's ability to operate. It is important to be clear on this point. These results do not affect the bank's ability to set and implement monetary policy, to manage Ghana foreign reserves, and to supervise the financial system.
Oh my Ghana pa. Ghana shiyeye bio. Hwese Bank of Ghana reporter wono 2025 eka wabo. Afei ena watweregu nkrata so onyamfa mbonten emma mechirechire mu de enti a wabo sa aka no nenso so NDC amonyokuo parliamentary committee aba bonten abaye press conference edi kan chirechire mu de enti a sa aka na ba ene de enti a aka na aba no enhayen enti emma dollar ne nkosoro enye seni ade a ono mo aye press conference den Bank of Ghana na emukura mbo ma bonten ma meka ho asem wei ene yete ho wo Ghana 15.6 billion Ghana cedi ena 2025 yinko ayeka yabo na eno ena kwadwo opon kroma ene wo mo mu nim de ewo sikasem ababonten NDC amonyokuo no mu ade hye mpo a wo no mu nim sikasem ababonten ababeka se we de yafom papa adenti na aka akoye se akwala a waye bone a onim so maame bebo no o maame pie frifie na no wa hyase atue sum wow akwala bia oye bone onim se bebo no a upie ya no wa hyase ne wo su fisi onim se ye de ya obebo no ntie se wo start na wo su enti we ye ka ya ba bebo a ye bisa se eka na efri hin eka we no efri hin efri se 2024 MPP amonyokuo ebra na His Excellency na Nana Kwakufuado ene Dr. Laji Mahmoud Baumia na Kenoforia Tire Finance Minister no mo hwe o mai so no MPP amonyokuo Bank of Ghana eboka 2024 no 9 point something na eko $10 billion na sabre no na aban no ama Bank of Ghana edi sika wurawura niam bebrem sabre no koku bo ba fom na aban no mpese koku fo anase koku akuafo enframa boni be fa wo mo hunti aban so ma sene petro bo ko soro aban no hwe se de be ya petro no esunsun so ne magana fo so niam kitinkiti bebre no a na aban no ma Bank of Ghana di sika yeden ehiem eso masene se de be ya Ghana for yem feel hit no anase ehyew bo no emeto yen na esusu ndisi amonyokuo ba ye wonu mo kire se wo mo de enima bebre no anu aban no hwe mfasika nkonkohyem ema aban ne moka enu nti koko ebo eko efom ewa adwama so no aban ne si dabi omma Ghana ye mfasika nhyem nti koko kuafo no mo aton de na ebo na atia afantie ne mumfa ye twam se hum enti niam kitinkiti bebre no a ema MPP for boka 9 million no ene NDC for nye sade no nenso so ma boka 15.6 billion dollars na ne bi busa se NDC kan ye de yeden because say contractors ye nsha se 2025 ye ntua omuka school for ya mfa bi adwumayefo nso yi bebre yedi ho ahwe se eniema bebre no anene omu nim sikasem enchirechire mu no wo mu akasa ho papa na me hokura dwire me wura ho mpo me ye Ghana ni me wura ho ye hunu se sa eka wo ya MPP fo boy nyina achi no omu sa kosi Bank of Ghana o hwe wo de hwe Bank of Ghana dynamic no ye hwe ntisi ye no MPP na nado danko akufo ne siye ebre ya wo ka kosi sa Bank of Ghana we no NDC fo so original ka se eden dada na isi ho no mo no ayeden na mo de omani sika kosi foforo aden kira na mo ntenem eno na obia tenemu ye sika na omode ya manyosem di na nado atem saa so bra Bank of Ghana yeto aba NDC amonyokuo be fura konya kese ne pe ade anche ena omo tese omo nyema nyina free dan dadalim ade be good dan foforo nim and the gold board mu nyina nya offices o mafum dan na fa ade foforo se ye mo fe o mafum na nado dan na osi ye no New Bank of Ghana no o mafa afedi o mobile ya yesi awie na efe ne de o manka ho asem bio ye de niema nyina ya amanyosem sameja mfi twabo na nado sa dan na ukosi dan foforo wa brada yo de mientie sameja mfi na ye tie sameja mfi wi a afei omo nim sikasem no afei no ma kyerɛkyerɛm afei eno ma kyerɛkyerɛ de ntia he ndisi aban mo ha Ghana mo hwera mo tutu niema yi o mo tutu niema yi wadaroma like me video yi mame mesere wa na afei tufo adwen kyerɛ bra na ehye manen kwa afoforo nso nkyɛn yentie sameja mfi nwie ansa na yahwe sikasem no de banka sankasa
kojo me no yebekɔ akotwa mfonyi
Okay.
abronsan tenten na omusi no underground ewom ebro 3 floors sa abronsan ni siwa pillars nketenkete no
Om de ne.
ye de hwehwɛ nko na ebɛhyɛ omo se head office baby omo te na nya omo fɛ so omo taste onim MBB omo taste enti baby omo te ododo de nya omo fɛ enya wa no doctor na shiru mutena ye adwuma enya mfaso EDBC hospital na ka doctor na shiru mo ne doctor si amamo de omo de ko mu kosi new head officer omo de ko mo mpɛ wo omo si omo dan no independence na yesi ye na sa ya se ko ba hwɛ
Yanko.
Ministries dan na sisi won bebre enya bi kwa colonial time be dan de ye dada usiesi especially so person usi monokra na enya mre a wo bank egu say Bank of Ghana na egu na ye ka ebinum fees en form ho ye nyina ye ba betua tax ko jo betua bi meso betua bi omo be friend of Bank of Ghana recapitalization levy e de beto vat so obi betua bi so omo betwa sika die wi egu Bank of Ghana no the oton ko bi the obotre
Awrade na
truck driver ni mate a teacher for a nurse for some job for ye betete ye to na ye de akwa fix your mess and yet omo award the contract for a new head office at a cost of $250 million. They awarded the contract in dollars, not in cedis. Bank of Ghana omo clamped down on the activities of omo hotels omo charge dollars, companies omo charge dollars. They have awarded the contract in dollars, $250 million. Because omo ngasa omo nyi omo hu ni so betumi stabilize cedi no. Into omo award the contract in dollars, equivalent to 3 billion Ghana cedis. Ye di see you can say head office. Koyo asem we wo dwere ho a won ti ase. Na je say obi e dibi Ghana no ene ye de ne bochas.
Important. Having said the cost of operating in 2025 was 15.6 billion, does not affect the bank's ability to operate. It is important to be clear on this point. These results do not affect the bank's ability to set and implement monetary policy, to manage Ghana's foreign reserves, and to supervise the financial system. The bank's authority comes from law and not on its balance sheet. This pattern is not unique to Ghana. The European Bank reported a loss in 2023 and 2024 while bridging euro area inflation under control. The United States Federal Reserve has its own continuous income shortfalls since September 2022.
Bank of Ghana, there's a report on more operational costs for last year, no, Omaboka over 15 billion cedis. Then I walk out.
Edika no, they also Ghana phone nyina te ase say Bank of Ghana accounts na omewie no. Omo fem beto abonten. Wom de akoma majority for say omo be propaganda mfa. Na propaganda na mfa. The akoso ne say afi 2025 na niema bi a Bank of Ghana here no maboka 15 billion Ghana cedis. Na ubekaya 2023 Bank of Ghana boka 10 billion. Abra ho treni buy a omo kontia no, omo boka 10 billion. NDC phone ne homo abem no. Omo say eye krono kese akoso na Governor Addison no o say a permanent jumem. Fa o mampani buy no say a criminally mismanaged. And omo ma boka 15 billion ti den yen kanjiro. Number 2, the akofa sa aka we aba no ejina ne ma mienu so. Baako eye abra no mo pese omo chimo bi adwin se economy na ye ye wade bi a ye de hwe ye friend no inflationary measure mo wona panie e ma inflationary measure na bafom kwa mo faso wona panie ne se ye to sika fi krum ye friend sterilization ye to fi krum na be kai a ye bo nkoko se asika no mo to no enye free won be wie ne ka abafie on ka chen se ye fa asem pankodo. In fact, I do baby because I did say economics as it. So economics classroom, you don't know. And then the Omagia to say, Sasikana ombe tofi krum na nyama sikeni krum sterilization no. And no na Amma Bank of Ghana aboka because Sasikano to autia in Simu. Number 2. And he say gold purchase program between Bank of Ghana and Gold Board. I can say Gold Board in Shishayo Mayan and the car bread Ghana. Na sa aka no mapia koma Bank of Ghana omo se ye boa. I can say Parliament in kwa hwem omo se omo block omo Parliament hwem no. I know ma Gold Board be ka so omo de omo ye profit 900 million no. Say Bank of Ghana for na be dia tum say e ka be da omo ho 9 billion Ghana cedis because of say into pa 9 billion take Gold Board academy. And as a Gold Board profit no so big no the upper cost is 9 billion film we be hu asem no ne kure be bia da na de ye kan say ya wa ba mu da ene ma na ye hu se ne ye no ye ko ye bebre ba ko mi ne be ko chima nti say ye kire mo bibia mo nya ho brase na mo ntie se say de omo ye ne say one omo se Gold Board kanu omo fa Bank of Ghana bio me metumi ka kire say ye ni be bi omo de kwa akoshe no ma be pretend say e ka bia mai na cheso mo yi kana fi Bank of Ghana kwa akoshe be fufo ba me ka kire say be bi omo be she bia ne be kire Ghana fo be bia say aka na kwa akoshe. Number 2 omo se ye ko yanim no sene omo to sika fi kroma na sika ni krom na ma inflation ba for minti omo se obi am safo he no omo ndan nye bio metumi ka kire say as at April so they compare last year as at April sika omo to fi krom na board omo ye last year nti so omo to aso say ya kosi afi na wie no man sisa afi we die no be boka more than 2025 kana na ye nyina ye dia yes say ye ka bibia mo mafutu bi omo fa hobrase nye den entie na enema enura na ye omo be kan say nye no omo anko the same time me da no omo amba be ka say so omo betu ni den fofo omo ke kan last time say loss bi aye loss enye policy cost na fe ene omo defend policy cost ye de ye nka say asembone mra na de ayesua na no na ye kire omo se say de omo ye so man sisana e ka be ba 2026 no so say de about 2025 we say na next week when him said Dom Kuma no ye be full press conference outlining alternative measures Ghana for nyene o say nka ye na e wa ba mu a ka say na e be na e ka fefo say ensa e ma ka we so 15 billion omo nya ya e be kwa kudu be 20 billion.
Secondly, the cost of building reserves through the gold purchase program. The accounting cost of the gold purchase program stood at 5.7 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 to 9 billion Ghana cedis in 2025. The program accumulated approximately 111 tons of gold in 2025, up from less than a ton in 2021. The gold itself has not been lost. The reserves are real. Let me now take you into the details of the gold purchase program and its impact over the years. In 2022, the total number of volumes that the Bank of Ghana acquired was 3.4 tons of gold with a value of $194 million. And the cost of achieving that was 74 million Ghana cedis. In 2023, we achieved 37.02 tons of gold at a cost of $1,554 million United States dollars, and we spent $1,372 million Ghana cedis. In 2024, we achieved 54.47 tons of gold, and we spent $4 billion United States dollars, and spent $5 billion in terms of cost to achieving that. In 2025, we moved the purchases from 54.7 tons to 111 tons. So it generated cumulatively 11 billion United States dollars, and we only spent 9 billion Ghana cedis achieving that. Thirdly, the accounting effect of a stronger cedi. In fact, to every side of a situation, there are positives and negatives. Ghanaians are enjoying relative stability of our currency, yet it is making our cedi value of all our foreign bonds much cheaper, and we lose value. The accounting effect of a strong cedi: when the cedi strengthens, the cedi value of the dollar, gold, and other foreign reserves of the bank goes down on the books of Bank of Ghana. And let me take an example to show. If you are holding $100 and the dollar is 17 Ghana cedis, that time the Bank of Ghana cedi equivalent will be what? 1,700. In this year, if you are still holding the same $100 and the cedi is now 10 cedis, you see that the money will now be 1,000 Ghana cedis. So the $100 value hasn't changed. But because of the strong performance of the cedi, it is making the cedi value that we record in Ghana's books to be what? Lower. That represents a cost. So the cost that the Bank of Ghana will mention include this cost, and that cost doesn't translate into any economic cost, but accounting cost.
Kojo Ponkroma, who is minority spokesperson on the economy. I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining us. Now, you are someone who really have followed this economy and how it's performing. The argument that the loss the Bank of Ghana has incurred is the cost of stabilizing the economy, which is making people comfortable. Isn't that a cost that should justify, or an expense that should justify the loss?
Kojo, good evening to you and to your listeners. I want to start by making the point that you have played extensively what the majority has said at their press conference. I pray that you give the minority equal amount of time to respond before we get into any debate. First, I need you to clarify for me, has Joy News cited the Bank of Ghana accounts as published?
No, we haven't cited it.
So what has happened is that the Bank of Ghana accounts have not been published, but the majority has been invited to do a press conference, ostensibly to try and shape people's minds before the accounts themselves are published. That should tell you that they are in an exercise of propaganda and PR, trying to hide the real facts from the Ghanaian people. What is happening is that yesterday's whistleblowers have become today's defenders. The cosmetics with which they've been managing things are beginning to wear off. And what is left now is a government side that is defending the things that they complained about when they were in opposition. Now, in 2023, the Bank of Ghana made a loss of 10 billion Ghana cedis. Today's majority, the then minority, were those who, among other things, went on demonstration, calling for the head of Governor Addison at the time, calling on him to resign. I think, if I recall correctly, within 21 days. And later, the then candidate who became president said that and other practices in the economy amounted to criminal mismanagement of the economy. I'm quoting his words. Today, they have made a loss of 15 billion Ghana cedis after they promised Ghanaians to give them power, they will do better. They've made a loss of 15 billion Ghana cedis. And instead of releasing the account so that everybody can read, they choose to hide the accounts and get the majority to do a press conference to spin it and try to explain it away. Now, you will recall that a number of things happened during the year. One, the minority kept drawing attention to the method that this government was using in its attempt to achieve a certain inflation number. They wanted to achieve a number and show to Ghanaians that they have done better. So they adopted a measure called sterilization, heavy sterilization. We have been speaking about it from 2025, and at a point they were even insulting our intelligence that we don't understand economics. And we kept saying that the extent of the sterilization they were doing will amount to huge costs on the Bank of Ghana. And that if they continue with sterilization, they can even achieve inflation of 0%. But the cost on the Bank of Ghana will be unbearable, and it did not also mean that the cost of living was going to go down. They rejected our argument, literally called us names, only today to turn around and say that the sterilization through open market operations is one of the largest contributors to their loss. You will recall again that we warned that the change in gold purchase policy from buying from the large-scale miners to now using the gold board was incurring losses which they were passing on to the Bank of Ghana. The IMF even highlighted some numbers in their document. And we even called for a parliamentary inquiry to go into the details and quickly put in place remediation measures. Because of politics, they refused to do that investigation. What's more, they moved that cost from Gold Board's books onto Bank of Ghana books and caused Gold Board yesterday quickly to publish their accounts and declare profit of 900 million. You see today the Bank of Ghana document, which they haven't released, but they are now spinning a political narrative about. They are even now admitting that the cost of the gold transaction is 9 billion Ghana cedis. Take that out and go and net it off what the gold board has announced as profit, and you will see the real impact of what has gone on there. They now want to argue that the work that the Bank of Ghana does contributes to what they call policy or economic costs. I want to refer you to Professor John Gachi in 2024, when the Bank of Ghana said that the sterilization or the open market operation costs that they had incurred, what they are now saying that small costs, small results. When the Bank of Ghana then explained that that sterilization was part of the loss, the NDC's chief advisor on the economy, Professor John Gachi, who now sits on the Bank of Ghana Advisory Committee, he said every loss is a loss, and that unless they're able to show it is a one-off item, Ghanaians should not take them seriously when they explain it as a policy or economic loss. Today, they are using the same words verbatim. But you see, the problem about the policy or economic loss argument is that if every year you are making policy or economic losses, it's not a one-off item. And what is now happening is that then any state-owned enterprise can make losses on the commercial transactions they are supposed to do, and they tell you that they are doing some economic good for the public. Does that make sense to you?
Sorry, but if you look at what they've been able to achieve, where majority of the people are saying that inflation is down, we are okay with it. Exchange rate is stable, we can plan with it. Is their cost not justified than what happened during your time?
So when the Bank of Ghana, through its open market operations, lost money and brought inflation down from 53% to 20-something%, was that justified or not? Principle is principle. We have said time and time again that they should be honest and candid with the facts. They are the ones who have tried every time to scam the people of Ghana with some different narrative. If they had admitted at the time that that loss, mostly because of the open market operations of the central bank, to bring inflation down from 53% to 23% was justified, they will be in a good position to make that argument today. They rejected it then. Why should that argument be accepted today? The Ghanaian people should see, as I mentioned, the scam that the NDC is perpetrating. They say one thing, when they have the opportunity, they try to change the language as though they are doing something new. And I draw your attention to the fact that 10 billion was condemnable. I don't know what they will say about 15 billion. But what is even worse, I tell you, we know where they are going to hide it. When we get into the full analysis of this after our press conference next week, we will show you where they are going to hide it again. Because that structure they have put in place will forever be a loss-making structure, and somebody will have to bear the cost. So they only move the cost from Bank of Ghana and go and hide it somewhere else. But we will once again expose that as well. If they say that 2026, you will not see 16 billion cost of open Ghana cedi loss, they should have the humility to sit at the table, stop the propaganda, and let us share with them the lessons we have learned so that they can serve Ghana better in this short time that they have.